Okay, so we are in another little urban enclave, the little fishable water here, and I just saw a really large, like a good 4-inch minnow species sitting in the current, facing the current in perfect standard feeding mode and position, and of course something spooked it. Don't know where it went, but I will assume it went under a rock somewhere. Drop my bait down there, see if I can attract it, get it come out. I don't think it was me who something's after it. I don't think it's the same fish. It's really small. I'm gonna try gulp first. He went after it, but he's not taking it. Didn't like the flavor. Alright, so I will turn around here maybe. See something on the other side. This is a creek I scouted out earlier in the week. It's got a lot of little fishy spots, but not very many fish in it. Oh, there's some little guy minnow down there. Not many fish in it. But current's going one way, wind's going the other way. Wind is winning. Alright, I'm back with a worm here. And the negative thing about, well, the positive thing about sight fishing only like this is that you won't spend much time wasted. I mean, the fish are there, you'll see them, or they're not there, and you'll move along. Oh, there goes that little guy. I'm going to try a worm instead of the gulp. Now, whatever that is working its way over. Oh, something else wants it though first, and here he is. Very small fish coming over, looked like. Yep, little bluegill. Nice, beautiful little guy. Drop him over here. Won't be catching him again. Alright, again, the negative part about this sort of situation is that if you can see the fish, they can see you. Little fish in this kind of skinny water, especially little fish like this, you're going to be very wary. Oh. And sure enough, the one that saw me took off, but look at this. That's a pretty big one. And that is some sort of chub. That's either a new species or at least a that might be the same kind that I caught before. But it certainly is personal best in size for me, if that is the same. Some sort of chub. Could be a river chub, that's what I'm guessing. But being sort of, there's so many different species of chub. That's a great first set right here. Blinded, I saw some fish down there. He was not one of them. Excellent. Beautiful fish. Just barely got him in the upper lip there. Gorgeous. And I'm going to release him over here. Try to keep him by. Oh, there go a lot of little guys. Just came over here to see what the fuss was. And there's one of them. Ooh, he's a little one. Might be the same kind, and it looks like it is. Nope. Well, if it is, he's much more colorful. I think he is. He's just a little more colorful. Unbelievably, it looks like he swallowed the hook. That's a beautiful fish right there. Goodness. Look at the red darkness of those red fins, man. If that's a river chub, which is my first guess, and if they're both river chubs, which is not necessarily the case, already got two personal bests. First, biggest ever, and then another one, the most ever, and this is just unbelievable. How does a fish that small get tangled around a limb that small, the root, whatever. This is the kind of thing that I could only do. I mean, this is like, well, I am capable of that kind of tangle. All right, here's a bluey. Nice little bluegill, if I can get him into the shot there. I know now with the GoPro, to get a nice look at it, it really has to be like an inch from the lens. Oh, I just hooked myself. So one nice thing about the micro hooks, in addition to being able, of course, to catch microfish, if you hook yourself, which I do a lot, it's not going to hurt. Look at that. That might be the smallest bluegill I've ever caught. I think it's smaller than the one I got at the creek earlier in the week. Just taking a picture for sake of how small he is. Alright, well, give this another. The great thing about finding a little place like this is that the water's, you're very limited. There's only going to be so many fish there. There's only going to be so many species. Because it's just such a small area. Such skinny water. But you're confident that the fishing pressure is pretty much zero. Because of the fact that the water is so skinny and the fish are so small. So I'm following it, and he got it. And it's another bluegill. Nice little guy. Didn't take my worm. That's nice. Very pretty. And he's so small yet very colorful. All right, give this one little shot. One more shot. I'll move down. You're going to see a lot of fish milling around there. That guy was pretty deep too. I mean, it's amazing. You're not getting any chance to bite really, but they're getting hooked kind of deep. And this is not a bluegill. This is a redbreast. This is the smallest redbreast I've ever caught. Look at that. Look at that guy. That's so awesome. Look at how tiny that guy is. He's so small. You can barely make out the markings, but that's the typical, kind of pale green upturned gill cover. I forget the opercle, whatever it's called. Got the orange fins, orange stripes, little bright belly. All right, well, that's worth another couple tries here. If you keep giving me new species, absolutely, I will stay right here. Oh, that's a nice big minnow over there. This is virtually a, I can't see the bite because it's in the shade. I can't feel the bite. I can't see the line move because they're so slight. It's almost like I'm just intuiting the bites. Oh, that's nice. If the sun could go behind a cloud for just a second, I can actually see under the water. Oh man, this is a bad spot. Oh, no. That one I saw. Oh! That's the plight of a micro fisherman is these little hooks. They do not take root. Well, this is not a nice fishing rod or even an ultralight. This is just a light bait rod. Not bait casting, obviously. Another little bluegill. Nice. Alright, I think I'm gonna some really large size minnowy looking guys right there. Depression with fish. I can see the fish. Oh, well, that's a big fish. That's not even a microfish. Behind the tree, so I can present without being seen. Present from pretty close. Oh, they're all scattering, of course, because they saw me. Dang it, that's not... Buggers. Still somebody there. And here he is. Oh, not one of the big ones. He stayed behind. And boy, he's low. Another bluegill. Pretty little guy. A dark little guy. Those guys who scattered over there. So I can throw it over there where they're not intimidated by me. In theory. Yeah, I cannot see a thing with that glare. Oh, pulled it right out of his mouth. Oh, that guy too. In the wrong place. The bigger fish are really spooked. Oh, no, I had him. I had a offering at it. Where the... Oh, this is a pretty one. It's another one of the... This is the second kind of... Oh, wait a minute. It's got those marks on the side. This is a different fish. This has got a red tail. Oh, yeah, an orange belly. This is one of those stone rollers, I believe. But we shall see when I get home and look them up. Damn, that's a nice looking fish. I think the blotchiness on the side and the tail and that little black on the back there, back fin. Oh, I don't want you to get dirty. To go back in, healthy and happy. Say nice things about me. There you go. That's already 4 species of fish, possibly 5, depending on the first 2, if they're different species. And, oh man. Bluegill, really little bluegill. Dude. Look at that bluegill. That's so tiny. Well, this tells me that the lake I'm going to hit in a few minutes, that is fed very slowly and piecemeal by this little creek, is going to have a lot of bluegills in it. Because there are just metric tons of them sitting here in tiny form. And also with this many bluegills and minnows that would be feeding into that lake, there should be some bass, which I'm hoping to get. A spot like this, because the fish will not travel far out of their little safe spot. And this is another bluegill? It's a little elongate for a bluegill. Nope, it's another little red breast. Look at that little guy. These have to be the 2 smallest red breasts I've ever caught. So cool. I mean, that orange tail. He's so little you don't even see the orange stripes yet coming up the back. But it's most certainly a red breast. Beautiful specimen. So yeah, when you're dealing with water this skinny, the spots, the depression, everything is so subtle. Like relative to the size of everything else, I'm like throwing in a big hole. It's probably less than an inch difference. I can't get this freaking slack to do what I want it. There we go. To do. Yeah, it's probably just a ½ inch to an inch difference from the surrounding sand. There's a little tip, a little touch, and there he is. But compared to how shallow it is, another old bluegill, it's an extremely big change. So, all right, there you go. Oh, there we go. That was very aggressive. That's a little bluegill. Bluegills are sometimes very aggressive. Even at this tiny size. Oh, there was another example of you hook yourself with this tiny little hook. Doesn't really hurt. Doesn't hurt at all. Alright, I can put a fresh worm on. There's one of the minnows I saw a big version of down the other way. Let's see if I can, he's seen me and he's spooked. See if I can coax him into overcoming his fear. I didn't give him quite a good enough cast. Way too far to the side. Oh, there's some other guys over there. Also very fearful. Oh, there he is. There's some of his friends. Yeah, that's one of them. Oh, I had him. That's one of them he had in his mouth. These are little guys, though.